Have you ever wondered about the philosophical implications of a pandemic? Welcome to our exploration of the philosophy of pandemology. Pandemology, insofar as it applies to the study of pandemics, is more relevant than ever in our current context. It's not just about viruses and public health, but also the profound ways these global events impact our lives, societies, and worldviews. This exploration will take us through the philosophical landscapes of epistemology, metaphysics, ethics, aesthetics, and social and political philosophy. We'll delve into how knowledge is acquired and truth is discerned in the face of a pandemic. We'll explore the interplay of reality, mind, and matter during such times. We'll examine the moral principles guiding our actions, the aesthetic value found in the midst of crisis, and the societal and political shifts triggered by pandemics. As we dive into each of these areas, consider how they are interconnected and how they shape our understanding of pandemics. Knowledge is the bedrock of our understanding. So what does epistemology have to do with pandemics? Epistemology, the theory of knowledge, is at the heart of understanding pandemics. Just think about it. How do we know what we know about pandemics? The answer lies in the triad of empirical evidence, rational reasoning, and collaborative exchange of ideas and experiences. Empirical evidence is our first-hand observations and experiences, the raw data. In the case of a pandemic, this could be the number of reported cases, the symptoms of the disease, the geographic spread, and so on. But raw data is just the beginning. We need to make sense of it to understand what it means. That's where rational reasoning comes in. Rational reasoning is our ability to logically analyze and interpret the empirical evidence. It is the process of making connections, spotting patterns, and drawing conclusions. It's how we go from a collection of individual cases to understanding the broader trends of a pandemic. But we don't do this in isolation. Knowledge is a collaborative endeavor. We share our findings, debate our interpretations, and collectively build upon our understanding. This exchange of ideas and experiences is crucial to refining our understanding of a pandemic. But here's the thing. Our understanding of truth is not fixed. It evolves. As we gather more evidence, as we refine our reasoning, as we debate and discuss, our understanding of the pandemic changes. This is the beauty of open inquiry and critical thinking. We continually question, test, and refine our understanding. And this is directly applicable to pandemology, the study of pandemics. The more we learn about a pandemic, the more we refine our strategies to combat it. The more we understand about how diseases spread, the better we can protect ourselves and our communities. As we continuously expand our understanding, we refine our perception of reality, a crucial step in navigating a pandemic. How does a pandemic affect our perception of reality? This is where metaphysics enters the conversation. In the realm of pandemology, the metaphysical perspective helps us understand the complex and fluid nature of reality in times of widespread disease. Our reality is a delicate dance between objective facts and subjective experiences. When a pandemic strikes, it doesn't merely manifest as a biological reality, but also as a psychological and social phenomenon that shapes our collective consciousness. The objective facts are the virus, its spread, its impact on human health. These are empirical truths that we cannot deny. But then there are our subjective experiences. The fear, the uncertainty, the solidarity, the resilience. These emotions and responses are just as real, shaping our perception of the pandemic and influencing our collective response. This subjective-objective interplay is crucial in understanding the metaphysics of pandemology. The virus may be a physical entity, but the pandemic is a social reality, the result of millions of individual experiences and collective responses. It's a testament to the fact that mind and matter are deeply interrelated. Our thoughts and actions influence the trajectory of the pandemic, just as the pandemic influences our thoughts and actions. Now let's talk about space and time. These interconnected dimensions shape the context within which our experiences of the pandemic unfold. The spatial dimension is evident in how a virus can spread across borders, affecting people in different parts of the world. The temporal dimension is seen in how the pandemic evolves over time, with waves of infection, periods of calm, and the constant race against time to develop vaccines and treatments. In this way, the metaphysics of pandemology reminds us of the interconnectedness of all things. We are not isolated entities, but parts of a complex, interdependent system. A virus halfway around the world can affect us, just as our actions can influence the course of the pandemic. In the face of a pandemic, we are reminded that our thoughts and actions, our minds and matter, are deeply interrelated. What are the ethical implications of a pandemic? Let's examine this through the lens of ethics. A pandemic is not just a medical crisis, it is a moral crisis as well. It forces us to grapple with difficult questions about the nature of right and wrong, and how our actions impact not just individual well-being, but the environment and the broader social context. Consider, for example, the simple act of wearing a mask. From a consequentialist perspective, this act is morally right because it minimizes harm, protecting both the individual and the community from the spread of the virus. However, there are those who might argue that being mandated to wear a mask infringes on personal freedoms, a debate that throws the balance between individual rights and collective well-being into sharp relief. This balance is at the heart of the ethical dilemmas posed by a pandemic. It's the tightrope we walk between safeguarding personal liberties and ensuring public health. It's the trade-off between keeping businesses open to prevent economic hardship and closing them to prevent the virus from spreading. But ethical decision-making in a pandemic goes beyond weighing these trade-offs. It also involves virtue, duty, and moral responsibility. Virtue, because it takes courage to make sacrifices for the common good. Duty, because we all have an obligation to protect the vulnerable. And moral responsibility, because each of our choices, no matter how small, can have a ripple effect on our community. Pandemics, by their nature, reveal the interconnectedness of our world. They show us that our actions have consequences that reach beyond our immediate surroundings. They remind us of our responsibility to each other and to the planet. In the face of such a crisis, we are called upon to act ethically, not just for ourselves, but for our community and for future generations. We are challenged to consider the long-term implications of our actions and to strive for solutions that are fair, transparent, and considerate of human well-being. A pandemic challenges our moral compass, pushing us to consider the balance between individual rights and collective well-being. Can a pandemic influence our perception of beauty and art? This is the domain of aesthetics. As we navigate the shared journey of a global pandemic, our perception and appreciation of aesthetics, the philosophy of beauty and art, undergoes a profound transformation. Aesthetics, in the context of pandemology, is not just about the visual appeal or the sensory experience. It's about the capacity of an experience, an object, or an idea to evoke meaningful and transformative responses. Aesthetic value is determined by its ability to stimulate critical thinking, to resonate with our shared experiences, and to offer a space for reflection and connection in these trying times. Art, in its many forms, plays an indispensable role during a pandemic. It becomes a language, a tool for expressing the complex tapestry of emotions, fears, and hopes that a crisis of this magnitude brings forth. Art, be it music, visual, literary, or digital, becomes a conduit for communication and a catalyst for cultural evolution. Through art, we share our narratives of the pandemic, the stories of loss and resilience, of despair and hope. It's through these shared narratives that we find connection, solace, and strength. In the face of adversity, art becomes a beacon, illuminating our shared human experience and inspiring us to navigate through the dark times. In times of crisis, art becomes a mirror reflecting our shared experiences, emotions, and hopes. How does a pandemic shape our societal structures and political systems? Let's explore this through social and political philosophy. In the face of a pandemic, the philosophy of pandemology prompts us to re-evaluate our societal structures and political systems. It calls for forms of government that prioritize three key principles: individual autonomy, social justice, and environmental sustainability. Yes, even in a crisis, the freedom of an individual to make choices should not be overlooked. In the same vein, social justice is crucial. We need to ensure that measures taken are fair and equitable, leaving no one behind. Finally, a pandemic is a reminder of our intricate relationship with the environment, urging us to tread lightly on our planet. But a society is not just about forms of government, it's about its people too. As individuals, we have a role to play, a role that goes beyond mere survival. We are expected to contribute to collective well-being, promote inclusivity, and participate in democratic processes. Pandemology urges us to step up, to voice our concerns, to listen to others, and to make decisions that are in the best interest of the community. In essence, pandemology views a pandemic not just as a health crisis. It's also a test of our societal values and political resilience. Our actions during a pandemic are a reflection of who we are as a society and how we value each other. A pandemic is not just a health crisis, but a test of our societal values and political resilience. As we conclude our journey through the philosophy of pandemology, let's recap our key takeaways. We've explored the epistemological emphasis on empirical evidence, rational reasoning, and collaboration, highlighting the fluidity of truth and our expanding understanding. We've navigated the metaphysical landscape, emphasizing the interconnectedness of reality, mind, and matter, and the contextual role of space and time. We've grappled with ethical considerations, focusing on the impact of actions on human well-being, the environment and society, and the importance of virtue, duty, and moral responsibility. We've appreciated the aesthetics of pandemology, underscoring the role of art and beauty in shaping our understanding of reality. Finally, we've examined the social and political aspects, stressing the need for government forms that prioritize autonomy, justice, sustainability, and inclusivity. In the face of a pandemic, philosophy provides us with lenses to examine our roles, our society, and our world. It challenges us to think, to question, and to grow,